The Libido Doctor is in.
All right, welcome back. So you heard from the mouth of a man of God why men actually marry. Men marry for two major things. He mentioned that a man is looking for the blessing a woman carries in her hands, meaning that he's looking for her fruitfulness. What has she already produced that can help him continue what he's doing or help him achieve the goals he has in his heart? And then two, can she be a builder? You heard it. So men do not marry for love because they are looking for something intangible. Okay? So I would like to dissect with you how men determine your fruitfulness, where that fruitfulness is coming from. Because to have fruits, you have to have some seeds, right? Seed time harvest. That's what's written in the book of Genesis when God was talking to Noah after the flood, and he promised that until the earth remain, seed time harvest will never cease. So it means that a woman, in order to show forth her fruits that the man is going to harvest, she already has some seeds she has planted, and she's able to show some of her fruits. Definitely not all of them, because there are different stages in the life of a woman, a girl, young girl, woman, blah, blah, blah. But we're going to get to that. So a man looking for a wife is not operating with his emotions like women. He operates with his logic, and he's looking for something special. So, where are the fruits? In her hand. But where are the seeds? Ladies, the seeds are in your womb. And I want to use a simple fruit to demonstrate and prove to you what I'm talking about. All right, so let's go. Your womb depends on different characteristics. If you look at genetics, physical, and spiritual, wombs have different sizes, wombs have different shapes, wombs have different maturity, and wombs can be affected by things that are passed down in the bloodline. Okay, let me show you a few different kinds of wombs. I'm going to use a fruit that represents the womb. And this is the fruit the nature has given to us that actually shows us what happens in a womb. Before I do that, I want to remind you that a little girl, when a girl is conceived and she's growing in her mother's womb, she already has all her eggs, okay? And those eggs are actually her seeds, and they are in millions, okay? You have to be logical. If you are given so many eggs, even if it's just 100, you're not going to have 100 babies. So it means that those seeds that I call the eggs are for a specific reason. The other thing you need to know is that as the baby girl is growing in her mother's womb, she is also given spiritual blessings that belong to the mother's bloodline. Spiritual blessings that were carried by her great-grandmother, her grandmother, women in past generation. And I would say maybe go back 5 generations and figure out what these women achieved in their lives. And you will be able to figure out the spiritual blessings that you carry, and they are in different shape and proportions. But one of them is fruitfulness. One of them is wealth. Women carry wealth in their wombs. But because of the modern days, we don't necessarily know that. And some women tend to look up to men to exchange their bodies for money, which has to stop. To be honest, if you understand the wealth you carry in your womb, you really will understand that you have to be fruitful and actually produce what you already have. But I will discuss that in a different video. I'm going to explain to you what the womb carries as spiritual blessings and what you get from the generations of the wombs of your ancestors that you're supposed to use and help your husband thrive. Okay, so if I use the papaya is the fruit I'm going to use. Okay, there are multiple shapes, sizes, colors, conditions of papayas, and that's exactly how your womb is. So for example, we have a small size papaya here that is still green. Now you have also this one. It's larger. You can tell, right? It's still kind of green, okay, but it's larger than this papaya, meaning that this papaya has the potential to have more seed. And we have to understand that some women have a capacity that is so large that what they produce in life is bigger and larger than what other women have the potential to produce. Okay, so now I'm going to hold this papaya and get another one to show you another difference. So this is another papaya. See how it is. Look at the color. Look at the size. It's significantly bigger than this other papaya. It's very yellow, nicely ripe. This also represents a different type of womb. Okay, so I'm going to put them aside and I'll show you a womb that could be sick. So if you pay attention to that, this is a papaya that has a lot of mold. It's not very healthy, and I actually made sure to wrap it so that there's no contamination here. But it's sickly, okay? When you look at something like that, you don't really think that you want to eat it. It's actually disgusting and repelling. Therefore, you need to understand that there are some wombs that are also like this. You have different kinds of wombs. Some wombs are sick, some wombs are small, some wombs are deformed, some wombs are non-fertile. And then you have the wombs that are perfect. They are the nice size, they are ripe, they are mature, they can carry, and they can bring forth. That's the first thing you need to know about the womb. Now, you have the wombs. Let me show you how the womb looks like. So I'm going to just get one of the papaya and cut it in half. When you open the papaya, you get plenty of seeds. And this is also what happens in your womb. In your womb, I would say you have two types of seeds. You have the seeds, which is probably half of your womb, that are destined for your divine husband, the one God has created you with. In Genesis 1:27, when he said, "Let us make man," and in man he made male and female. So a woman who is destined to a man carries half of the seeds of that man, and it represents half of the seeds in her womb. The other half of her seeds represent the things she's going to achieve by herself. That's why in life, you can't just sit around and wait for a man to give you everything. No, because God has given you seeds that you have to fructify, you have to multiply, because he gave us a mandate: be fruitful and multiply. Replenish the earth, subdue it, have dominion. All right, what are the seeds of the woman? Those are your seeds of personal achievement, what you do in school, the personal projects that you take on, your children. And this is what a man is looking for. A man is going to look for what you have already achieved for yourself, that he can judge to see if you can be a builder, if you can be a helper. Okay, so a man, what he does, he's just going to focus on half of your womb's production. Most men don't know that if they marry the wife of their destiny, she will have a whole more seats for him. And that's what's going to make him a champion. That's what's going to make him overachieve compared to his peers. Why? Because when he comes with her, not only she uses the seed she's already trained herself to produce fruit for, but she's also going to use seeds for him. I always tell you that when you meet your divine partner, let me put it this way, you already have seeds for him in you. And those seeds will begin to speak. And how do those seeds speak? They speak through ideas. These seeds speak through faith. How you talk to him, how you encourage him, how you understand his divine mission.